Please be seated. So, welcome to the 2026 Arts, Science, and Engineering Graduate Student Commencement. I am Andrew Aline, Dean of the College of Science and Engineering, and I'm honored to be your host today as we celebrate the achievements of approximately 600 students from the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Science and Engineering. So, Commencement is one of the university's happiest and most important occasions of the year. It's a symbol of accomplishments for you and a turning point as you move on to the world beyond the university. We know the hard work required to earn a master's or a doctoral degree at the University of Minnesota, and we commend you on your academic accomplishments and excellence, as well as on the commitment and the perseverance you showed in achieving this important milestone. So, once again, congratulations on a job well done. At this time, I would like to introduce our distinguished University of Minnesota guests and collegiate deans. So please stand as I call your name. Our distinguished keynote speaker, the Honorable Barry Anderson, former Minnesota Supreme Court Justice. Rebecca Cunningham, President of the University of Minnesota. Mary Turner, Board of Regents. Scott Lanyon, Vice Provost and Dean of the Graduate School. Dean Gershon Aviles and Associate Dean Jisoo Hu from the College of Liberal Arts. And finally, Associate Deans Victor Barocas, David Blank, and Joe Constant from the College of Science and Engineering. Thank you very much. So, graduates, you're going to leave the university as scholars, entrepreneurs, artists, scientists, and more, and you will be pursuing a wide range of career and life paths. As you go, know that the University of Minnesota is immensely proud of your work, and as U of M graduates, you now join a global community of 600,000 plus alumni, which we call the Gopher Nation. We hope that you will stay in touch and use what you have learned wisely and share your gifts generously. We wish you the very best success as you move on to the next exciting chapter ahead. And now, I'm happy to welcome University President Rebecca Cunningham to say a few words. Let's give her a warm welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Dean Aline, and to the class of 2026, congratulations. Woohoo! Yeah. I'm so delighted to join you today. Commencement is one of the most joyous days in the life of a university. It brings together all the reasons we exist: your amazing achievements in learning, our collective contributions in knowledge and service to Minnesota and the world, and the extraordinary University of Minnesota community you have joined and helped shape. You have helped shape it, indeed, during your time here, and I'll come back to that. For me personally, Commencement offers a chance to step back and reconnect with what my own roots in higher education and the reasons I've devoted a lifetime to this calling. I hope you too will find a moment of quiet joy amid all the excitement. I know there's a lot going on. You're still recovering from exams and final dissertation defenses, maybe a few post-exam and defense celebrations. You're trying to remember where to pick up your diploma and coordinating your travel home or to whatever that next job step is. But somewhere, amid all the hugs and hat throwing, take a deep breath and think about, what does it mean to be in this moment? Think of who you are now and how that person has changed from the person who first arrived on this campus. You've come to the University of Minnesota from around the world, following a global pandemic, or perhaps in the middle of that pandemic, right into tumultuous world events and protests like we haven't seen in half a century. And here's what I know about each of you. You've challenged yourself. You've made sacrifices to get to this moment, and along the way, you were there to take care of each other. Earlier this year, during Operation Metro Surge, you all came together and you stepped up in so many ways. You delivered food, offered rides, adapted to the daily changes in classes, campus life, and teaching. And you learned how to talk to each other across differences. That takes a concrete set of skills that we at the University of Minnesota are committed to teaching and supporting at every level. But there's also a personal dimension to genuine dialogue, one that requires your choice to be open to hear about ideas that are different from your own. One that places a primary value on the community, this community. I am proud, so proud, and deeply moved to have watched you pass these critical tests time after time. So whether you're stepping into the world as an artist or a bridge builder or a scientist, you help those around you. May you help those around you see the beauty, cross divides, and better understand the world. Today, more than ever, the world needs your talent, your expertise, and your creativity. But none of this means you have it all figured out, and that's okay. You're heading into a world that's changing faster than ever, in technologies, in external conditions, social norms, personal expectations, and so much more. You will embark on careers, probably several of them, that didn't exist when some of us graduated. You will travel further, meet people with greater varieties of experiences, and have more exposure to information than any human since the dawn of time. You will have good moments. You will have unsettling moments. But you, as much as any graduating class, have already learned that being unsettled doesn't have to take you out of the game. In fact, you've probably learned the most during those unsettling moments. Those are the moments when you grow the most. And while you've also learned to stand on your own, I hope you've learned that you are more likely to succeed when you stand with others. So no matter what the path, we are better when we are in community. Speaking of community, all of you that arrive at this day with important people, nobody does this alone, who've walked alongside you, supporting your journey. To the families and friends who made it possible for you to attend and thrive at the University of Minnesota, let's give them, graduates, a warm round of applause. And to the faculty and staff who created and cultivated your experience here, offering their knowledge and care and deep dedication, please show them your gratitude with a round of applause. I want to add one more thought for you graduates before we get to the heart of the proceedings, which are about you, and I promise we're going to get there soon. I've said a lot already about the extraordinary community you've joined and helped shape here during your time at the university. But my most important call to you today is when you leave this campus, do not leave this community. The people here and here, they have helped you. They lost my place. I got so excited about the people who helped you. The people who were here for you when you were down the hall and needed a boost will be here for you whenever you need to find yourself and whenever you need them. And so for that, seek these people out. This institution, which has been dedicated itself to your growth and flourishing so far, we remain dedicated to you for your growth and flourishing now and throughout your life. So please take advantage of it. The spirit that gave you such warmth to your relationships during your time here, and such spark and such drive to your work, now that's your spirit to give. So let that Minnesota spirit give life to all that you do in the years to come. Congratulations to all of you, and be sure to stay in touch, graduates.
Thank you, President Cunningham, for your very thoughtful messages. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Justice Barry Anderson. I've only gotten to know him a little bit, a little off script, and I'm becoming a bigger and bigger fan. You're in for a treat. So, Barry Anderson is a retired justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. Judge Anderson graduated magna cum laude from Gustavus Adolphus College in St. Peter, Minnesota in 1976, and from right here, the University of Minnesota Law School in 1979. He then went on to practice law in Fairmont, Minnesota, before moving to Hutchinson, where over 15 years he handled family law, public defense, business law, personal injury, and insurance defense. He served as Hutchinson City Attorney from 1987 to 1998. Then, Governor Arne Carlson appointed him to the Minnesota Court of Appeals in 1998. And 6 years later, Governor Tim Pawlenty chose him for the highest court in our state, where he served until 2024. Justice Anderson, who grew up in greater Minnesota, sort of on the north end of Mankato, if you know where that is, he has substantial civic engagement under his belt. And this, I'm told, and I've seen, includes 2 terms as a Rotary Club president and a stint as a host of the public TV show called Your Legislatures, which you can find on YouTube. Now, when he's not relaxing, as all retirees should be doing, he still gives back to the community with continuing legal education efforts and work with the National Conference of Bar Examiners. I'm also personally very happy to say that one of his sons graduated from the College of Science and Engineering. So please join me in welcoming the esteemed Barry Anderson.
Thank you for those kind remarks, Dean. Some of them even happen to be true. Thank you, too, to President Cunningham for her thoughtful remarks. And congratulations to the University of Minnesota on the wonderful remodeling and new construction of Fraser Hall, which will serve students for decades to come. On that point, the late Smith Hall served both my youngest son with majors in chemistry and computer science from the university. I have no idea what he did here. I don't understand any of it. And his wife's grandfather, separated by 7 decades or so. That was probably long enough for Smith Hall. I begin with congratulations to all of the graduates here today. In the spring of 1979, I graduated from the University of Minnesota Law School, perhaps to the surprise of faculty and students alike. Having spent substantial time at Fraser Hall in its prior iteration, at a similar ceremony to the one we're experiencing today, but held at Northrop Auditorium. Like you, I received an advanced degree and was about to embark on my career. In my case, a small law firm specializing in civil and other litigation in Fairmont, located just north of the Iowa border. I didn't know much about what my law career would look like or what real-life lawyering looked like, and much of what I knew was subsequently wrong, as events would establish. Now, as proof of this, I often tell law students that I was very clear in explaining to my classmates back in the 1970s, I was going to be a trial lawyer. I was going to be in courtrooms. I wasn't going to do boring corporate or real estate work. My modestly successful trial lawyer career gradually morphed into city attorney work, a form of corporate law, and as I was finishing my private practice days, I was running a title company. The 2 things I swore I would never do. Woody Allen, perhaps borrowing from Proverbs 16, has said, "How do you make God laugh? Tell him your plans." So it was for me, and perhaps for you as well. More on that in a bit. Now, I want to move to in my remarks today with some conversation about networking and polarization. And the 2 topics are somewhat related. We are hardwired as human beings to network with each other. And it's particularly true of Americans. Tocqueville, in his 1835 book, Democracy in America, writes, marvels might be a better word, of the American capacity for human interaction and helping each other, whether as a result of the colonial experience or for some other reason. Now, some of us are better at this than others. In my case, it was a learned skill. Perhaps because my dad died 4 days before or after my 11th birthday, or perhaps because I was something of a nerd to begin with. My children would tell you the qualifier something is not required. Nerd will do just fine. I was more loner than joiner. But I worked at it, and looking backward, every single step of my career involves encouragement from someone, somewhere, to take that step. Aim to make your networks broad rather than narrow. To put it another way, more directly and perhaps even more bluntly, we could all stand to expand our contacts to include people with whom we might have little in common, and in particular, to include people who view the world differently than we do on matters both social and political. Quite inadvertently, quite unintentionally, and not having any real clear idea of what I was doing, I wound up doing that. And I did so to my benefit, and so will you. You say to yourself, to the extent you're listening to me, that was fine back in the medieval era when Justice Anderson was young. But now it's dramatically different, and we live in a much more polarized environment. Maybe. I'm skeptical of this argument. From 1876 to 1896, no presidential candidate won a majority of the popular vote, irrelevant from a legal perspective, but important as a practical matter. The Hayes-Tilden election of 1876 was so close, we really don't know who won, and both sides were busy engaging in significant election fraud. There were 3 presidential assassinations, and during approximately that period, 7 present or former members of Congress who were murdered. More relevantly and recently, the 1960s through the early 1980s saw 3 assassinations: President Kennedy, Senator Kennedy, Dr. King, multiple assassination attempts, including Gerald Ford twice, President Reagan, thousands of domestic bombings, riots leaving at least 40 dead and thousands injured, and highly contested disputes over war and social and political issues. Now, if you have any doubts about what I've told you about this, ask your grandparents about all the fun we had between 1963 and 1983 or so. Now, none of this history makes current events and concerns irrelevant or insignificant. I merely emphasize for you now there is little new under the sun, social media and other modern complications notwithstanding. Now that's the bad news. The polarization issue, which causes us to focus on what divides us, leads us to another concern: the failure to appreciate progress and to put unnecessary emphasis on current problems. I will say, as an aside, as graduates, you're expected to solve all those problems, and you could start getting to work on that tomorrow. A wise historian asked what previous era he would like to live and study in, responded with, how close to yesterday can I get? Because we focus on the bad news, we miss the good news. Part of the political science curriculum at Gustavus, where I did my undergraduate work in the mid-1970s, was Richard Hofstadter's final social science and historical work, America at 1750. Relevant here is that someone born in the year 750 had more in common with someone born in 1750 than someone born today. Another way to put this, as Professor Deirdre McCloskey notes, is that for millennia, humanity survived on the equivalent of $3 a day. Human progress, at best incremental from the beginning of time to around 1700, explodes thereafter. Now, we'll leave for the analysis of why this is for some other time. And incidentally, up here and out there, we have scholars who are going to spend part of their career debating why this was. They can come back and tell us later. But it is a fact that just as we don't appreciate the polarization that has always been with us in some form or another, we also don't appreciate the magnitude of human progress. And despite the gloom and doom merchants that progress appears to be accelerating. What do I mean by that? For most of human history, child mortality was 50%. Today, it is 4%, 4% globally, and in more industrialized countries, it's less than half of 1%. In 1820, more than 80% of our fellow human beings lived in extreme poverty. Today, that number's 10% and continuing to fall. I've got a personal angle on this as well. My father had state-of-the-art care here at the university hospitals in the mid-1960s, but he dies at age 48 because that's what happened to nearly everyone with lung cancer in 1965. Tremendous advances have been made there. Similarly, 3 of my mother's cousins from the same family in North Dakota died of childhood leukemia, now treatable. And of course, the single greatest contributor to human progress, I will contend with all the fervor that a high school debater can bring to this topic, the single greatest contributor to human progress is Norman Borlaug, a name well known to everyone here at the University of Minnesota. Now, we have with us at this graduation ceremony some with degrees in the sciences that are the foundation for these improvements in human flourishing, and others with degrees that are important in understanding how we work together socially, intellectually, politically, and culturally in making these improvements possible. One does not happen without the other. Do not silo yourself as you go forward in your professional careers. Now, finally, some unsolicited career advice, which I know you've been waiting for. Do not fear the prospect of change. Some of you may land in careers that take you to one employer for the rest of your professional life. Others may make frequent changes. I had at least one unscheduled job change. It turns out arguing with management doesn't really promote long-standing employment. That's a story for another time. But a better story comes from my late Uncle Carl, my dad's brother. They were both graduates of the University of Minnesota. Carl was an Order of the Coif graduate of the University Law School in the mid-1920s. And all you need to know about that title is that he graduated with high honors from the law school, academic territory that his nephew, me, was unfamiliar with. He accepted a position with a major law firm in New York City. In the middle of the Depression, a firm client offers Carl the opportunity to join him in a chemical business. Over the objection of Carl's small-town Swedish immigrant banker father, my grandfather, who was of the view that a paycheck every 2 weeks had much to recommend it, Carl made the leap from a big New York City law firm with lots of prospects to whatever was on the other side of the river. Happened to be New Jersey, and work with his former client, a gentleman by the name of George Merck. That business today is known as Merck Chemical with something like 75,000 employees. I guess it worked out. Not every opportunity is a success, but success without taking a chance, without an opportunity, is unlikely. Now I want to close, to your eternal gratitude, with a thank you to all the faculty here who have worked with these graduates over the last several years. For all the discussion and talk about educational systems and technology and lots of hand-wringing about what to do about various complications and problems associated with education, K through 12, at the university, other places. From the time of Confucius through the ancient Greeks and Romans today, it is still the fact that the teacher-student relationship matters the most. Nowhere was this better expressed than by then President James Garfield, who observed that the best education one could ever hope for was his former teacher and later president of Williams College, Mark Hopkins, on one end of the log and a willing student on the other end of the log. Hopkins is long gone, but the faculty gathered here today are heirs to that Garfield-Hopkins tradition. Notwithstanding the wonderful new building that we talked about earlier and the other improvements on this campus and all of the fancy technology, it's still the faculty that matters the most. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you today for this important ceremony. Best wishes to all of our graduates, and I'm going to be looking forward to watching your careers solve all those problems I mentioned earlier from my front porch.
So, Justice, thank you very much. There was a lot to unpack there, and very, very wise words from a very, very wise man. So, now we come to the part of the ceremony that you, and especially you in the audience, have been waiting for. We're going to begin the presentation of the degree candidates. So, will the candidates for master's degrees please come forward? CLA. CLA's first. College of Liberal Arts. Yep. I'm going to go do some handshake.
College of Liberal Arts. Perry Brennan. Alexander Neil Berglund. James William Carlin Mons. Jacob Allen Meixner. Kao Jia. George Bagrov. Yumiko Ehara. Carolina de Pino Ferreira. Anastasia Michik. Isaac G. Conrad. Emma Troja. Michaela Noel Kreck. Joanna Johnson. Kinuo Shi. Shigi Liu. Feifan Sao. Ningshan Lin Zhang. Aja Rose Bond. Maitran. Jay Youngwood. Kayla Fryer. Benjamin Landers. Nicole Taylor Schiller. Timothy James Johnson. Cleo Young. Leah Ruman. Ziliang Jin. Paulina Vergara Buitrago. Vanessa Genesis Jimenez Juarez. Isabel Ashlyn Keefe. Teresa May Garrison. Max Forsman. Michelle Grace Wetzel. Maddox Taylor McCarty. Emily Van Wy. Hannah Christine Kilmer. Sandra Yailin Del Rio Madrigal. Julia Oswald Tilton. Cassandra Ray Rodenbaugh. Isabel Zacharias. Hannah Riddle. Emma Lee Reeder. Carolina Casese de Vasconcelos Serel. Denise Mendoza Jaimes. Rodrigo Zavala Cintora. Damian Maurice Strange. Leon Yamaoka Kobayashi. Chiwen Lai. Stephanie Valle. Joseph Hendricks Chambers. Janeth Olubope Eni. Henry Ekini Chukwuma. AJ Siegel. Sierra Salato. Joseph Daniel Hayek. Annika Marie Johnson. Natalie Stout. Lauren Studer. Barbara Petzold. Sarah Elizabeth Hansen. Gray Lau. Sophia Yin Yap. Sophia Rose Tautges. Jenna Marie Bizek. Caroline Sheath. Nicole Klaus. Tess Olin Ansipink. Emily Kathleen Johnson. Sibia Niyamoita Mirieri. Hamdi Abdirashid Mohammed. Uba Shire. Molly McCaffrey. Michelle Margaret Ann Leeson. Sean M. Redmond. Sarah Shug. Emily Dombeck. Leah Curtis Swenson. Jake Schild. Yasmina Dokara. Dorothy Alice Rand. Jessica Lynn Knight. Lauren Boyk. Dana Christine Hernandez. Charles Truong. Clayton Bradley Sawatsky. Nayagak Pidor. Cedric Michael Dedina. Nadira Hussein. Marianne Yusuf. Miguan Tutz. Anna Freiberg Ortel. Luis Jaime Valderrama. Bei Chen. Kayla Tierra Jackson. Charlie Body. Finnegan Lewis. Samuel Clark. Jermaine Lindsay Saladino Juan. Stephanie Ann Morgan. Tatum Mystic. College of Science and Engineering. Rohan Reddy Janga. Tucker Nathaniel Blazek. Michael Marsden. Dylan James William Blake. Isabella A. Anderson Cufre. Mauricio Ignacio Villavicencio. Gunnar David J. Gotzinski. Christopher Allen Hardwick. Amara Jackson. Avery Butler. Sakti Sundaram Saravanan. Amir Enayati Kefshkarkolai. Jessica Lynn Marshall. Justin Drahan. Tushar Mitra. Justin Scott Wheeler.
Edwin Penora. Edwin Penora.
Tasha Fellman. Abdul Rahman Talal Fakhurji. Jamie Brenner. Nicholas Enrique Navarrete Sterner. Amanda Helga Elvarsdottir. Ibrahim Ayotomiwa Oluware Milekun Ismail Adebiyi. Omar El-Gohari. Sudarsna Kanagalakshmi Mukund. Hira Malik. Zoe Barrier. Nels Marvin Parenteau. Max Harrison Lalonde. Ritvik Kosuri. Michael Angelo Diaz.
Shuo Jiang.
Prapti Bordoloy. Dipan Bag. Arunachalam Manikandan. Irina Karati. Lafanya Sakar. Arav Kalkar. Ronak Mahesh Narkadi. Li Xiong. Justin Mehez. Peter Dulkamara. Qingwei
Dursa Albert.
Samuel Mack. Austin Randall Borman. Kevin Alejandro Godoy. Austin Reese. Zachariah Farah. Batula Adnan Ali. Lauren Lee Anderson. Megan Elizabeth Ford. Olivia Jade Fox. Makeba Raquel Nelson. Fuqi Jiang. Caitlin Lee Schnitzler, Supritha Uday, Pahuni Jain, Archita Mullick, Oi Lam Ko, Nahid Sultana Ria, Rushikesh Yamaro Kabadi, Samuel Robert Hudek, Spencer Ramsey Yoder, Keegan Ryan Schmidt, James McCabe, Bakr Altai, Mosisa Betru Tekle, Shoaib Akhtar Shahjahan, William Kane, Sharva Prasad Kandagali, Soham Sunil Methul, Sanskar Pathak, Manas Dikshit, Joseph Pellman, Brandon Edward Hoffich, Jess H., Nathan Quinn Abzug, Elizabeth Rose Burrelbach, James Johnson, Thomas Joseph Lamb, Xiao Da Li, Yance Wang, Alan James Menk, Brady Schumann, Nicholas William Cuffle, Eric Sortland, Alexander James Dufresne, William Allen Frost, David Yue, Abigail Elizabeth Johnson, Sheang Luo, Brian Huang, Frank Salvador Ignacio Rosas,
Karen Kapoor.
Giannis Petropoulos, John Robert Ferguson, Luke Ishag, Lucas David Lodermeyer, Ethan Jossie, Benjamin Check, Jeremiah Percival Hockett, Knox Tien An Lee, Emma Grace Thompson, Claire Ann Koo, Tyler William Krause, Logan Hunter Miller, Satya Shanmukh Pavan Kumar Varsagi, Maruti Verdun Telakula, Shrija Misa, Ashish Kumar Kola, Yashwant Moharil, Pranay Junare, Nicholas Charles Ulan, Colton Stonehouse, Alan Toe, Atiram Shukurov,
Meta Kramers.
Justin Eladio Bueno Diaz, Antonio Jimenez Caballero, Paul Himes, Alex Knusel, Blake Sorensen, Gabe Nelson, Madeline Gill, Edward Easton, Catherine Coy, Fuchian Sun, Maria Jose Esparza Talamantes, Alex Toner, Samuel J. O'Connell, Annie Lamb, Crystal Castellanos, Caleb David Sullivan, Zoe Rudd, Ryan Levi Erickson, Jake Green, Anthony Camano Enriquez, Corwin Fletcher Diamond, Sam Yang, Dimitri Tebebe Tadegi, Vinay Pingali, Ishan Shetty, Ishan Gupta, Megan Marie Larson, Sierra Moore, Jali, Sarah Ann Kugler, Maura Barrett, Eric Allen Sarkinen, John Strike, Zachary Scott Owings, Lucas Joseph Carl, Zachary John Wadzinski, Elise Dinsa, Margot Maxwell, Johanna Teagarden, Aaron Powell, Serena Jane, Sydney Haubenstricker, Jovan Boshnakowski, Sam K. Darby, Sanaz Hosseini, Emna Nefsi, Mark Hudson Spengler, Aaron Isaac Castle, Cheston Eugene Opsaznik, Nicholas Sanger, Aditya Shah, Kevin Benny, Sung Moon Wan, Lucas Robert Olson, Derek Dishinger, Benjamin Sebastian, Samantha May So Ballesteros, Adam Genda, Krista Marie Gergen, Jack Chapin, Patricia Anugra Setiani, Tyler Ramirez, Stephen Daniel Blow, Nihar Gurudatta Gore, Anurag Purohit, Shreyas Sridhar Iyer, Connor Lee Anthony, Mariam Kameli, Jeffrey Hu, Alex Leonard Iliarski, Isaac Morris Berlin, Maria Volkova, Madhan Mohan, Brockton Robert Welly, Kira Ballantyne, Bipasha Goswami, Alex Snell, Yashasvi Singh, Erica Hosokawa, Kate Helskamp, John Kirill Swenson, William Tinney May, Braden Lucas Savage, William Isaac Thronson, Angela Denise Douglas, Gaurav Kumar Tanti, Kumar Abhijit, Amanda Bassett, Claudia Grace Ellis, Vish Prashanth, Anthony Michael Berleffi, Nathan E. Sahlberg, Chinmay Arora, Bhushan Ravi Kumar, Mudit Jantwal, Jithendra Jagannatha Kagathi, Arjun Thonor, Varadaraya Ganesh Shenoy, Banu Vishwakarma, Amandeep Chopra, Yengshuan Yang, Janvi Gopalakrishna Nayak, Dale Burton Thuftedal, Chung Yu Chen, Vaibhava Krishna Devulapalli, Faik Bilal, Shinren Su, Hao Lung O, Chandan Umesh Pai, Siddharth Kudupudi, Tanish Kondru, Sankrishna Bharath Kumar, Sivupriya Gopi, Anirudh Vasudevan, Mahendra Vishnu Madhavan, Nikitha Sabasan, Siva Varshini Anbarasu, Sri Darshan Ilango, Xiao Yu Tian, Yachi Huang, Akshat Mohan Dasula, Priya Eturi, Nithan Kumar Reddy Vangala, Kushi Kantula, Prajwal Umesha, Sai Rohan Reddy Sadlavari Pula Reddy, Yukti Venkataravanappa, Purna Bengaluru Shivaji Rao, Vishnavi Rajesh, Aswatha Sadasivam, Pravalika Kampampati, Sirisha Pathumudi, Ashritha Dadi, Trishya Chirakala, Suhas Babu Reddy Batapati, Mohammed Arshath Ansari, Vikram Raja, Shivasri Hari Alagu Uthaya Kumar, Kruti Dharmeshbai Hindocha, Sagar Jaya Krishnan, Samson Hruday Chinta, Harihara Prabhu Manakandan, Duke Daffin Thomas, Keshav Krishnamurthy, Changmong View, Hui Ho Su, Ruby Monique Daniels, Majid Al-Busaidi, Lily Lee, Carter Vensas Pikachik, David Tomlinson, Yuhan Kiao Guo, Thuy In Tran, Nandini Kumawat, Vinutha Chandrasekhar, Lakshmi Sai Deepika Dugirala, Nikhil Kumar Cherukuri, Saliha Chaudhry, Ruizi Wang, Shizra Tariq, Mohit Yadav, Jiaying Li, Jiashen Wang, Megan Bunnelly Tan, Lila Ann Crevero, Grayson Hughes Light, Yuka Saito, Arthur Jason Nguyen, Kevin Wangan, George Manuel Hernandez, Romualda Aquino, Anwashika Maji, Anna Ton Nu, Chung Fu Tsang.
Okay, let's give all of our masters a round of applause. Appreciate all the hard work. Congratulations. That is an awesome job. Awesome job. Now, I have the pleasure now of presenting the students who have earned the highest degrees granted by the University of Minnesota. So, will the candidates for doctoral degrees please come forward?
College of Liberal Arts. Chloe Mace Hagen. Pauline Eugénie Eliane Maison de Samy. Kirsten Lee Smith. Annie Melton. Teresa Marie Downing. Parisa Atigui. Tanner Rogers. Ashton Panapanik Dunkley. Lennox Granados Bad Moccasin. Chelsea Brianna and Keiichi Osademe. Roy G. Guzman Chudersky. Kate Brooks. Hannah Alice Elizabeth Smith. Vincent Consons. Sai Rung Lee. Don Roland Thorpe III. Xiao Wei Guo. Vanessa Y. Nyarko. Oforiwa P. Ajay Boaki. James Michael Grisock. McKenna Apolloni. Paige Gerlach. Madison Hammer. Hallie Isom. Christian Zalay Johnson. Erica Kuntz. Brittany Helen Rauschendorfer. Jocelyn Jill Raker. Juliana Gamboa Arbeláez. Jacob Calvin Wright. Lie Wan Yang. Terat Wong Ratanapi Bon. Leonardo Barreto. Ruyan Liao. Carlos Ivan Bolivar. Bipul Verma. Teresa Balestrini. Scott James Summers. Alexander Wordinger. Rongwei Rita Tang. Ioannis Koutsanikolis. Christina Shin. Margie Tong Whitmore. Effie Karfaki. Ibrahim Hersey. Hong Liu. Christian Nathaniel Howard. Dee Wong. James T. Chang. Zijian Zhang. Micah Vincent Winter. Bayu Chen.
Tangjia Xie.
Ashley Chia Wei Ye. Jae Young Kang. Xujing Yao. Christina Uhrenbacher. Alexis Christine Aguilar. Malcolm Burke. Rose Craig Tyler. Nate Krebs. Liu Zhe. Jie Kun Feng. Rina Hori. Ransi Shao. Sarah M. Gardner. Jeffrey Creighton Yelverton Jr. Alejandra Karina Takehira. Leary Catherine Sipamocha Moncaliano Warren. Juan Kim. Yiga Tang. Sujin Cho. Thien Hui Ma. Laurent Kipling Kino. Shinyi Zhou. Adam Stefan Smith. Shitong Zhang. Megan Marie Wagner. Isaac Mayer Bazian. Alex James Ritchie. Saron Mulat Demeke.
Huan Shi.
Reed Priest. Ying Yang. Vivian Lee. Yiyan Cheng. Eugene Wong. Wenbo Zhao. Drew Hogan. Yuran Liu. Daniela Sepulveda Soto. Harley James Wheeler. Sarah Sewade. Siwei Liu. Sara Parhizgari. Yuchen Liu. Jordan David Alexander. Vanessa Erica Anyanso. Victoria Wee. Dana Mae Miller. Caitlin Rose Balch. Allison Obright. Andrew Thomas Stobig. Asmita Gimuri. Isla Kell O'Loughlin. Caitlin Jane Bice. Brianna Taylor Beeman. Lisana Gabriela Bogard. Karine Bellarmino. Snigdha Kumar. Brianna Marie Waters. Mikel N. Wright. Christopher Everett Robertson. Laura Southworth Mandeville Gilbertson. College of Science and Engineering. Toby Daniel Halupsak. Deepti Kannan. Srijith Thampan Nair. Eric Rikita. Ali Arshad. Huzefa Irfan Hussain. Guhan Kien, Sandra Shariar, Hongrong Jiang, Robert David Halverson, Kalpesh Jakar, Keegan Robert Bunker, Leonid Haida, Peter Yip, Niles Ribeiro, Zubin Lal, Annie Moorhead, Jacob Clark Solinsky, Anahita Mobaseri,
Wei Ren.
Hut Ju, Baiwen Kong, Hoi Win. Nyana Sai Jagana. Neil Quang Chuang Duong. Elijah Robert Kipp. Damon Yadav. Tianchi Song. Eric John Moran. Bidisha Sarkar.
Carlos Mauricio Trevino de Leo.
Argia Sarkar. Shazad Alam. James Yang. McKenna Miley Joe Cobley. Xian Yu Chen. William Ramos. Kuzivakwashe Viola Madungwe. Zachary David McAllister. Varun Gopal. Molly Simonson Snedden. Kirsten Elizabeth Peterson. Murphy Teresa Williams. Mahmoud Matar Abed. Elizabeth Awar Apiche. Wilani Raquel Alvarez Reyes. Carl Frederick Golion. Hannah Grace Addis. Katie Huber. Rowan Matney. Iandra Yee. Prakash Palamedu Sundaram. Aishvarya M. Parameswaran. Yezi Halem Mesfin. Devesh Chandra. Mariam Zeberjadi. Ali Alipour. Hanzale Akbari Nodehi. Ji Chin. Zahang Wang. Prasanna Salasia. Divya Kumawat. Zekun Lee. Hyunjung Jung. Yejun Lin, Tamida Islam, Junji Chow, Nora Elizabeth Laughlin, Mingzhou Yang, Sarah Elizabeth Hanel, Serafina Yong, Jeremiah Jonathan McElwee, Matthew Joseph Zent, Rui Xuan Sun, Jian Shiguo, Yingzheng Xu, Arun Kumar, Yingming Xu, Smitha Muthia Sudhindra, Peiran Lee, Sin Wei Chu, Meghna Singh, Sean Mather, Trevor James Winger, Eric Thomas Floden, Marine A.P.,
Kiet An Pham.
Nikhil Srikumar, Haowen Zhong, Yixuan Wang, Aaron Flavius West, Akash Chandrasekhar Dotre, Hassan Fatih Jelebi, Kun Shui, Rahaf Abdullah Bahadri, Daniel Y. Ho Ung, Hamid Reza Alai, Arun Cherkil, Reza Yusuf Vand, Pin Hao Cheng, Nicholas Krasimir Zuhovich,
Yuangji Zhao.
Lauren Nicole Rurold, Ratul Biswas, Daniela Ali Beckelheimer, Tian Yu Kong, Jasmine Yasaman Nouri. Robert Joseph Angaroni. Dorian Smith. Aaron Kai Lee.
Kojo Mause Hunsu.
Hee-Jun Kim.
So, thank you all for your support and your patience as we go through that presentation of our candidates for the doctoral degree. So, Regent Turner, these doctoral and master's candidates are presented to you.
Congratulations, graduates. And before I bestow what I fondly call the Regent's Blessing, I would like to have you join me in showing the appreciation to such a wonderful audience of family and friends. You did an admirable job of cheering on your graduates. I will say that some sections were more organized than others, but you all did a great job. So with that, I would ask everyone to rise. Not you all, these guys, okay. And I would like you all to listen very carefully because this is what makes it all legal, okay? All right. To all the graduates, I extend my congratulations. Through your talent, hard work, and determination, you have earned this day of recognition. As you embark on what lies ahead, your career or continued education, carry your University of Minnesota degree proudly. But remember, it comes with great responsibility and expectation to positively contribute to your communities, the state of Minnesota, the nation, and the world. Now, oh, you're already rising, sorry. You know, I gotta read this ahead of time. Now, will the graduates please rise as they are able? Upon the recommendation of the faculty by the authority of the Board of Regents of the University of Minnesota, and with the completion of all remaining degree requirements, I now confer upon you the degree for which you have been qualified. Congratulations.
So, thank you, Regent Turner, and congratulations again to all the graduates. And a special shout out, this Sunday is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who helped make this all possible. All right. So we're going to conclude with the singing of Hail Minnesota. So please, our band, take it away. And this concludes the 2026 graduate commencement. Graduates, we offer you congratulations and best wishes for the rest of the evening. Be safe. And all the best for the next phase of your lives. Thank you very much. Mace Bearer, lead us out.